Do you feel invisible? Like the world moves on without noticing you? Like everyone else is getting ahead, while you stay stuck? Overlooked? Ignored? Here's a brutal truth. Staying weak isn't just a habit. It's a choice. And right now, you're choosing it without even realizing it. The people who succeed, who command respect, who bend the world to their will, they don't wait for permission. They don't hope for luck. They exploit the rules nobody else sees. Machiavelli said it centuries ago. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Think about that. Fear isn't cruelty. Fear is power. It's control. It's influence over the world that ignores you. And here's the kicker. Most people will tell you to be kind, to be patient, to wait your turn. But patience gets you nothing. Kindness gets you taken advantage of. If you keep listening to them, you'll stay weak. Invisible. Powerless. But this video, it's different. By the time you finish watching, you'll see the cracks in the world that let you step through and claim the respect you deserve. What if I told you that everything you've been taught about success is a lie? That the rules you follow, the advice you swallow, the patience you cling to, it's all keeping you small. There's a hidden layer to human interaction. A silent battlefield where respect, fear, and influence are handed out, not earned through niceness. And most people, they're blind. This video will reveal strategies that almost nobody talks about. The kind of strategies that make powerful people untouchable. We're talking mental dominance, emotional manipulation, and the subtle art of bending reality to your will. Machiavelli warned, the ends justify the means. It's harsh. It's raw. But it's true. If you want to rise above the ignored, the overlooked, the weak, you have to understand the world as it really is. By the end of this video, you'll see the patterns others can't. You'll know who to trust and who to watch like a predator. And you'll get tools to step out of the shadows. But here's the secret. Most people will stop watching before they get there. They're too comfortable being powerless. Let's be honest. Most people go through life invisible. They work hard. They follow the rules. They smile, they nod. They wait for recognition. And what happens? Nothing. Opportunities pass them by. Promotions go to the bold. Credit is stolen by the cunning. They're overlooked in meetings, ignored in social circles, forgotten in moments that matter. You feel it, don't you? That sinking frustration when someone else, someone less talented, less prepared, gets ahead. It's infuriating. It eats at you. And yet, you do nothing. Why? Because society told you to be nice, to be patient, to wait your turn. But life isn't fair, and it never will be. Machiavelli didn't sugarcoat it. Men in general judge more from appearances than from reality. All men have eyes, but few have the gift of penetration. Translation: people will judge your weakness, overlook your efforts, and ignore your potential. Your patience becomes your prison. Your kindness becomes a weapon against you. And the more you try to fit in, the smaller you feel. Here's the problem. You've been trained to surrender your power, to hide it, to dilute it, to make the world comfortable. And the more invisible you are, the more others take what could have been yours. But here's the truth. Invisibility isn't a condition. It's a habit. And habits can be broken. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why you've been powerless and how to flip the script. You'll see the world as it is, a hierarchy of control, respect, and influence. And you'll learn how to claim a place at the top. Lesson 1. Master the art of emotional control. The first step to becoming untouchable is mastering yourself. Your emotions are your weapon or your weakness. If you let anger, jealousy, or fear control you, others will exploit it. Think about it. How often have you said something in the heat of the moment, only to regret it later? That's power slipping through your fingers. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear. You can't control how others feel, but you can control how they see you." Emotional control doesn't mean being cold all the time. It means never letting your reactions betray your thoughts. It means silence can be louder than words. A calm gaze can cut deeper than a shout. Here's a practical exercise. Next time someone insults or undermines you, don't react immediately. Breathe. Observe. Let them reveal their weakness while you maintain composure. The one who stays calm in chaos always wins. People mistake restraint for weakness, but in reality, it's strength. It signals that you are untouchable, unpredictable, and strategically dangerous. They don't know what you're thinking, and that's the point. Mic drop. Actionable takeaway. Every emotion you control becomes a tool. Every reaction you withhold is power. Practice this daily. Watch how people start deferring to your presence. Fear, respect, and influence begin with mastery over yourself. This is the foundation. Without it, all the strategies we'll cover later will crumble. Because no plan survives an uncontrolled mind. Emotional chaos is the fastest path to invisibility and failure. Ask yourself, do you want to be the person who reacts like everyone else, or the person who others hesitate to challenge? The answer determines everything. Lesson 2. Observe like a predator. Power isn't given. It's taken. But you can't take what you don't understand. And to understand, you must watch. Most people glance at the world. You must observe. Notice patterns. Body language. Small slips of words. Micro-expressions. These are the cracks in reality others ignore, but you will exploit. Machiavelli said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Observation is your advantage. Knowledge is your weapon. If you see the battlefield clearly, you can strike decisively. Start with small exercises. At work, notice who pretends to listen but manipulates behind the scenes. In social circles, watch who seeks approval and who commands it silently. In arguments, see who reacts and who calculates. Here's the secret. Most people reveal their intentions without knowing it. The more careless they are, the more power you gain. By simply observing, you are already 10 steps ahead. And this isn't passive. Observation informs strategy. Tells you whom to avoid, whom to align with, and when to act. Mic drop. Actionable takeaway. The world shows its weaknesses to those who truly watch. Learn to see without being seen. Your eyes are your first weapon. Your understanding is your shield. Imagine the advantage. While others react emotionally, you know the patterns. While they stumble blindly, you move silently and decisively. While they are weak, you are untouchable. Remember this. Power is always available to the one who perceives it first. Observation turns invisibility into dominance. Ask yourself, are you a passive participant in life or a predator in disguise? Lesson 3. Learn the power of silence. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is strategy. Most people feel the need to fill every gap with words. They speak to be liked, to be noticed, to be safe. But in reality, words often betray you. A single careless comment can expose your intentions, your fears, your limits. The less you reveal, the stronger you become. Machiavelli warned, "A wise ruler ought never to keep faith when by doing so it would be against his interests." In other words, concealment is power. People will guess your intentions, but they'll never truly know your plan. Practice the art of measured speech. Speak only when necessary. Let others fill the silence with their own admissions. Ask questions, nod, listen, but reveal nothing. Here's an exercise. In your next meeting, social gathering, or debate, observe how often people over-explain. Notice how their words betray their weaknesses. Then remain calm. Speak less. Watch your influence grow silently. Mic drop. Actionable takeaway. Silence is a weapon. Speak only when it strengthens your position. Every word you withhold is a layer of armor. Every silence you maintain shifts the balance of power subtly in your favor. The powerful rarely boast. They don't need to. Their aura, their presence, and their careful words do the work for them. And people notice. They fear the one who is unreadable. They respect the one who is controlled. Ask yourself, do you want to be another voice lost in the noise, or the silent force everyone watches, but never fully understands? Remember, the world rewards those who understand the economy of words. Your voice can be a sword or a trap. Lesson 4. turn weaknesses into weapons. Everyone has weaknesses. Everyone has fears, insecurities, and limitations. The difference between the powerless and the untouchable? How they use them. Most people hide their flaws. They apologize. They overcompensate. And the world eats them alive for it. Machiavelli said, "Men shrink less from offending one who inspires love than one who inspires fear." Expose a weakness strategically and it becomes a tool. Dehumanizes you, lulls others into underestimating you, and sets traps they never see coming. Example: someone calls you arrogant. Most people would try to deny it. A master? They nod, smile, and lean into the accusation. Maybe you're right, but that's why I get results. Suddenly, the criticism becomes respect. Your flaws can be stories. They can be lessons you've mastered. They can disarm enemies, charm allies, and create the illusion of vulnerability, while you remain untouchable. Mic drop actionable takeaway. Every weakness you embrace and control becomes a hidden weapon. Don't hide. Redirect. Transform. The world will underestimate you, and that is when you strike. Think about the people you've underestimated before. Why? Because they played their flaws carefully, subtly. Because they made others feel superior while quietly building dominance. Ask yourself, are you hiding your flaws or using them as ladders to rise above? The untouchable never pretends to be perfect. They reveal, they conceal, they manipulate perception. And when done correctly, their weaknesses become their deadliest advantages. Remember, the world fears the person who can turn anything against it, even their own weaknesses. Your flaws aren't shackles, they're weapons waiting for you to claim. Lesson 5. Master the art of influence. Power isn't about brute strength. It's about influence, the ability to shape thoughts, decisions, and actions without anyone realizing. Most people beg for respect. They demand attention. They try to convince others they matter. And they fail. Miserably. Machiavelli said, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." Influence is subtle. It's strategic. It's about guiding outcomes, not forcing them. Start with observation. Understand motivations. Everyone has desires, they may hide them, but they exist. Once you see what someone wants, you can plant suggestions, steer conversations, and make people act, thinking it was their idea. Small gestures matter. A nod, a smile, a well-placed compliment. Timing matters. The moment you speak can shape decisions more than the words themselves. And restraint matters. Never reveal your agenda too early. Let curiosity do the work for you. Mic drop actionable takeaway. Influence is power disguised as choice. Make others act while they believe they decide. The best leaders, negotiators, and manipulators aren't noticed until it's too late. Here's the secret. Most people surrender their influence by trying too hard. They push, they plead, they shout. You don't. You act strategically. You wait. You guide. Ask yourself, do you want to be another voice drowned in the chaos, or the invisible hand that moves events and people without anyone realizing? Influence isn't manipulation for the sake of cruelty. It's control. It's protection. It's survival. And once mastered, it gives you an untouchable position in any room, any network, any circle. Remember, people may forget what you say, but they will always follow the energy they can't resist. Your mastery of influence makes them follow your lead, silently, willingly, and unknowingly. Lesson 6. Strategic alliances and calculated loyalties. No one rises alone. Even the strongest need allies, people who amplify power, provide protection, and open doors. But alliances aren't about friendship. They're about strategy. And loyalty? It must be earned, not assumed. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are driven more by self-interest than by loyalty or love. If you rely on blind loyalty, you will be betrayed. If you ignore opportunities to build strategic bonds, you will remain isolated." Start by mapping your environment. Who has influence? Who has resources? Who has hidden power? Then approach selectively. Don't spread yourself too thin. Align with those whose strength complements yours, those who can push you forward while benefiting from the relationship. But here's the catch. Maintain independence. Never make someone more powerful than yourself. Never give total trust. Control the balance. The moment your allies see you as weak or desperate, the alliance crumbles. Mic drop actionable takeaway. Choose allies like a chess player chooses pieces. Every move must serve your ultimate position. Strategic alliances aren't permanent. They're instruments. Use them. Benefit from them. Exit when necessary. Remember, the powerful understand networks better than talent. They cultivate loyalty without dependency. They give support while remaining untouchable. Ask yourself, are you surrounded by allies who elevate you, or by leeches who drain your strength and blind you to danger? Your influence multiplies with the right alliances. Your vulnerability shrinks when loyalty is calculated and controlled. And those who underestimate this principle remain powerless, isolated, and invisible. The world doesn't reward lone warriors. It rewards those who wield influence through strategy, connection, and careful observation. Everything we've covered leads to this moment. Mastery of self, observation, silence, weakness, influence, and alliances. But all of it means nothing if you aren't unbreakable. Unbreakable isn't about being invincible. It's about resilience. It's about rising every time the world hits you down. It's about staying calm when chaos surrounds you. It's about bending reality to your will without losing yourself. Machiavelli said, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." Command isn't orders. Command is presence, confidence, and mental fortitude. It's a quiet power that radiates from every action, every decision. To become unbreakable, start with these truths. Pain is fuel. Every insult, every setback, every betrayal, use it to sharpen your mind. Fear is a signal. Understand it. Analyze it. Let it teach you strategy. Loss is temporary. Every defeat contains the blueprint for your next victory. Mic drop actionable takeaway. An unbreakable mind sees the world as it is, not as it should be. No person, circumstance, or betrayal can shake it. You act with precision, respond with strategy, and emerge stronger every time. Here's what most people miss. The untouchable aren't born. They are forged. By trials, by observation, by mastering themselves and others. By turning weaknesses into weapons and chaos into advantage. Ask yourself, do you want to crumble when the pressure hits? Or do you want to rise, dominate, and command respect without question? This is the culmination. The point where ordinary ends and power begins. The point where invisibility becomes presence. Where weakness becomes dominance. Where fear becomes your silent tool, not your enemy. Remember, the world notices only those who refuse to break. The invisible become visible. The weak become untouchable. And you can be next.